Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Dreamworks Switch to Life. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing all of Dreamworks' upcoming projects that we know of as of December 2023. And this is a really big update, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. So Dreamworks' next theatrical movie is going to be Kung Fu Panda 4, which as of right now doesn't have a subtitle, and at this point I don't think it will. It also doesn't have a trailer, which is very weird considering that it's almost 3 months until the film's release. So yeah, I don't know what to say. The good news is we know quite a bit about the plot. Po is chosen to be the next spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, taking the place of Master Oogway. But in order to do that, he needs to train a new dragon warrior, and he finds a promising young student in the form of a fox named Zhen. And just so you know, we actually have official pictures of her, and I gotta say she looks really good. She will be played by Awkwafina, and the main villain of the movie is going to be someone named the Chameleon, a sorceress who has the power to bring all of Po's former foes back from the dead, including Tai Lung, Shen, and Kai. And probably more, but maybe not. Who knows? Kung Fu Panda 4 is sadly the only theatrical movie we know is going to come from Dreamworks, but we also do have release dates for a bunch of Dreamworks movies. While we don't know what these films are, the release dates are September 20th, 2024, January 31st, 2025, August 1st, 2025, and September 26th, 2025. So yeah, we're getting 3 Dreamworks movies in 2025. Really cool and amazing, if you ask me. Now, in terms of what these films are, we don't officially know, but if I had to guess, I would say the 2024 movie is a brand new film called Mice and Mystics, which is based off of a RPG board game, you know, Dungeons and Dragons style. And then one of the 2025 films is going to be The Boss Baby 3, since it's about that time, and The Boss Baby 3 was confirmed to be in early development back in 2021. Along with this, we have confirmation that one of the 2025 films is actually going to be Shrek 5. Yes, Shrek 5 is coming, we just don't know exactly when. And again, it could be delayed due to production, but who knows? And I believe the final 2025 movie is going to be something called The Wizards of Once, based off of a book series by Cressida Cowell, the same author who wrote the How to Train Your Dragon book series. Dreamworks purchased the rights to this back in 2017, so it would make sense if this came out about this time. Another 2025 movie I feel we should talk about is the upcoming live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake, which is currently set for a release on June 13th, 2025. Yes, you heard me right. Turns out the film was delayed by 3 months thanks to the production issues of the writers and actors strike, which in my opinion is good. That means the movie won't be rushed into production, but it also means that we will have to wait a little longer, and far more importantly, the movie will no longer be coming out around the same time as the How to Train Your Dragon 15th anniversary, which is amazing if you ask me. While the film is not being made by Dreamworks, I feel it's worth mentioning because it's based off of one of their properties. And we know a little bit about the casting, but we don't know the full cast. However, the movie is in actual production right now, even though it was supposed to start back in June 2023. I made a video where I discussed some opinions I have about this movie, and I honestly hope you guys enjoy it. Link down below in the description. But with that out of the way, it's time to move on to DreamWorks' actual next movie, which will not be heading to theaters. Yeah, apparently for film number 48, Dreamworks wanted to do a Netflix original movie, which they're calling Orion and the Dark. It's based off of a children's book and is currently set for a release on February 2nd, 2024. You can watch the trailer down below in the description, but with that out of the way, it's time to move on to the TV shows. The first show that we know that is coming out in 2024 is called Mighty MonsterWheelies, and it's basically about a bunch of monster trucks, which are actual monsters. Little is known about it or even when it will be released except for 2024. Another Universal-based show that is going to be released is Jurassic World Chaos Theory, a sequel show to Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. There's already a teaser trailer for it, linked down below in the description, but if I had to guess, I would say that this was going to come out in the late summer, maybe early fall of 2024. Now it's time to talk about TV shows getting renewed. The first one is Dewdrop Diaries, which will be getting Season 2 on December 4th, 2024. Yeah, you heard that right. In 3 days, we're going to see Dewdrop Diaries Season 2. Another show that's been renewed is Not Quite Narwal, which will be getting its Season 2 at some point in 2024. If I had to guess, we could see it as early as January or maybe even February 2024. The next show on the list is Gabby's Dollhouse, and this one is going to continue for a long time because we have confirmation that Gabby's Dollhouse is going to have a total of over 100 episodes. Currently, it's at 58 right now, so we got a long ways to go, and I'm pretty sure Gabby's Dollhouse will still be making episodes in 2025. Really, the only show that we don't have a renewal status for is Go Dog Go, but that makes sense because Season 4 literally just dropped 3 days ago at the time of recording this video. But it turns out that TV shows are not the only thing coming to Netflix. Turns out that at some point in February 2024, most likely February 20th, we will be getting Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken to stream on Netflix. Currently, you can find it streaming on Peacock, and while I do recommend you go watch this movie, I left a review for it down below in the description. It's not great, it's just good, but it's still worth watching if you ask me. Now we come to the bad part of this video, that being what TV shows are leaving Netflix. Already we've had to say goodbye to Turbo Fast, the Mr. Peabody and Sherman Show, and VeggieTales in the House, and its sequel show, VeggieTales in the City. However, one thing that kind of came out of nowhere, and I did not expect this to come, was All Hail King Julien has been removed on November 17th. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't warn you guys, but to be honest, they literally announced the removal 2 days before it was actually removed. So that was stupid. On the same day, they ended up removing Season 5, which is known as All Hail King Julien Exiled, which was marketed as its own show, but yeah, it's actually Season 5 of the main show, so it makes sense that they removed the two on the same day. The good news is I can actually warn you about another removal, that being The Adventures of Puss in Boots, which will be leaving on December 29th, 2023. You have less than a month to go watch the show in its entirety before it leaves Netflix forever. And I recommend you do because even though this show isn't really canon anymore, it's still really good and worth watching in my opinion. There's also the interactive special Puss in Book, which once that's gone from Netflix, it's not going to be available anywhere in any format. Currently, that one doesn't have a removal date, but if I had to guess, it would probably be January 2024. With all that out of the way, it's time to move to our next streaming service. So, it turns out that Dragons the Nine Realms has officially been renewed for Season 8 with the release date of December 14th, 2023. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you will know that I believe Season 8 is the final season. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if, when the trailer actually drops, it's marketed as the final season. So this will probably be the last time I ever talk about Dragons the Nine Realms in one of these videos. And now it's time to talk about the next show on our list, The Croods Family Tree, which... yeah, I was right. Turns out Season 8 was the final season. So the show is over, and now I'm no longer going to talk about it after today's video. So while it's great that we can say goodbye to those shows before they run their course, one show that actually did run its course that we have to say goodbye to now is Abominable the Invisible City. Turns out it was quietly canceled behind the scenes and there will not be a Season 3. Or maybe there never was supposed to be a Season 3 and they just said we're seeing what the status is before we end it. Well, show's confirmed to be over. They're not making a season 3. So unfortunately, this is the last time where I'm going to mention 3 of DreamWorks TV shows, and that makes me sad a little bit. This means that the only currently running show on Peacock is actually Fright Krewe, which, great news, has actually been confirmed for a season 2 with a release date at some point in 2024. Most likely in the early months, maybe even March or maybe January for all I know. And for your information, this will be the last show that actually comes to Hulu, as Universal is about to sell its rights to Hulu to Disney, which means all upcoming DreamWorks shows afterwards that go to Peacock will only be going to Peacock. This includes the Untitled Casper the Friendly Ghost, which is a live-action series being made by DreamWorks Animation. And currently, the show doesn't have a release date. It's not even given a release year, but I would suspect it would come out in October 2024, or maybe we'll have to wait until 2025 to see this thing. Who knows? The only other show that's going to be coming to Peacock that we know about is Megamind, which is formerly known as Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. It's been given a release year of 2024, but unfortunately, we don't actually know when it will be released. But that's not the only thing that's going to be coming to Peacock in 2024, because DreamWorks' 47th movie, Trolls Band Together, is actually going to be streaming on Peacock, then going to be going to Netflix. The Peacock release date is currently expected to be in the late February or early March. However, I can guarantee that the film will be streaming on the service by March 15th, 2024. I've actually done a review on this movie if you want to go check it out, link in the description down below. But more importantly, I asked you guys what you thought of all the Trolls films in the series, and it turns out that those who actually watched Band Together, 35 of you voted, and 94% of you agree that Band Together is the best thing in the Trolls franchise. I don't agree with this statement, but I do agree that this film was definitely worth watching, especially on the theater screen. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do, but you can also just wait until it comes to Peacock and Netflix eventually. The first show we have to talk about on Apple TV Plus is none other than Curses. This literally just released its first season, so it's unlikely we'll hear an announcement of season 2 soon, but I hope that we do get to see one eventually. The other show on Apple TV Plus is Pinecone and Pony, which had its season 2 be released in February, and since then, there's been no word on season 3. I hope that there's a season 3 in the works, but at this point, it's looking more and more unlikely. The only show that we know is coming to Apple TV Plus is rbrick, which, even though it doesn't even have a release slate, I still think that this series will be worth watching, especially if you are a fan of the Trolls franchise, as it's going to be a music-driven animated series based off world-renowned collectible figure toy things. Yeah, that's Trolls there for you. The final thing that we have to talk about is not coming to any streaming service, unless, of course, you just plan on buying it. That, of course, being The Prince of Egypt, the musical. This is meant to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the original movie, and it was filmed at West End. You can currently find this movie streaming on something called Broadway HD, or better yet, just wait for it to come to digital, where you can rent or buy it entirely starting December 5th, 2023. Netflix on December 29th, 2023. Aside from those, we actually have all of DreamWorks movies, which includes Orion and the Dark, coming to Netflix on February 2nd, 2024. This will be followed by Kung Fu Panda 4, coming to theaters on March 8th, 2024. And then there will be 4 unknown DreamWorks movies, which will be given release dates, but unfortunately, we don't know what these movies are. That's up for speculation. And finally, we have the live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake with a release date of June 13th, 2025. So there you have it. That's every single Dreamworks project we know of. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and with it, the entire year in review. So please make sure that you like and subscribe so you can keep up to date on all things Dreamworks in the future, especially in the coming months when those 4 movies are announced. But until then, I hope that you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.
Are you in or are you in?
I'm...
Is it me or am I more excited about this than you are?